Eden by Obsessmuch. Read by SSJDeBusk. Disclaimer: I don't own Harry Potter or Eden. Harry Potter and all things Harry Potter are owned by J.K. Rowling and the WB. Eden was written by Obsessmuch on fanfiction.net. Please support the official release. See how nice and normal that was? Chapter 4. Hell. This is Sarah, and I'm reading Eden by Obsessmuch, and I didn't write any of this, and I do not take credit, nor am I sending it to anyone that would think that I am taking credit, but I still feel the moral obligation, and by moral obligation I mean Jackie obligation, to put this disclaimer in here saying that, hey, random English chick who wrote this, do not sue me. Or J.K. Rowling. Actually, J.K. Rowling can suck a dick. And she has nothing to do with this except for coming up with the name. And she can also suck a dick. That is mostly my comment to her. Anyways, but yeah, so chapter 1 is 15. This book is 780 pages, by the way. I mean, not like, it's double spaced, like each paragraph little thing, and most of them are like little one-liners, and it's double spaced, and then I was like, oh, I'll shorten it, it's like 400, but then I was like, fuck that, I want to read it the way that it's read. And she puts inters everywhere, and I kind of like the way it's written, so I kept it. But 780 looks really fucking intense. But I'm only already on chapter 50, page 50, so there's something. Chapter 1 has 15 pages, Chapter 2 has 13, Chapter 4 has 20, no, Chapter 3 has 20, and Chapter 4 has 28. I am now on Chapter 4. Okay, Chapter 4. Hell. Okay. Is it easy to go down into hell? Night and day, the gates of death stand wide. But to climb back up again, to retrace one's steps to the upper air, therein lies the difficulty. Virgil. The Aeneid. The beverage you are about to enjoy is extremely hot. Please sip carefully. I should move. My whole body aches from lying here for hours on end. I curl my leg up to one side of me. Even the minimal movement is an effort. Perhaps I'll go sick in the sight of the ceiling in the end. But right now, I don't want to eat. I don't know if I ever will. Perhaps been staring at it for hours, but not seeing it. I've only moved when I've had to. When that silent, sullen-faced woman came to take me to the bathroom down the corridor for a toilet break every few hours. And once I got up on my own account to eat the food that he left for me. I haven't slept. How can I sleep when my mind is so loud and I can't hear myself think? At first I cried until eventually I wore myself out. And now I feel like I have no tears left to shed. They've all been expelled out of me. It feels like they'll never come again. At first only my body was numb, and now it's my mind too. The hours have thrown me into a blank, barren haze. I feel empty and abandoned, lost. I kick my blanket off me, suddenly unable to bear the horrible heat. I am damp with sweat, and I have been for hours now. I need some food and some water. A glass of water and the crust of bed aren't enough to keep me going. My head hurts with the hunger, or perhaps with something else. I don't know. Or care all that much. For the first time in my life, I want my brain to shut down. I want it to let me sleep, and not to keep turning off over and over tired, running down an endless hill. Why did I do it? Why couldn't I hold out? What were they going to do with people I've named? Why couldn't I be brave when it mattered? I'll never sleep again. What's that noise? My sore eyes flicker to the door of my cell. Footsteps. They could not easily be coming for me. I'm not the only prisoner being kept in this corridor. I have heard people come and go from these cells frequently since Lucius left me, but none of them have come to see me. The screams of the people they did go to visit echoed all the way down through the rest of the cells. It's enough to drive you mad. There are 2 pairs of feet out there, not one. The first pair of those shoes click smartly, and the other pair pound heavily. I think I recognize the sound of that first pair of feet. I sit up slowly, groaning slightly as the muscles creak into use after hours of immobility. The footsteps stop outside my cell, and I see pale-looking faces at me through the barred window. He's back for more. I've got to be stronger this time. I know what to expect from him now. I've got to fight, and this time I've got to win. I stand up quickly as my body aches all will allow me, wiping the sweat from my forehead. My head thumps painfully as I get up to my feet. Christ, I hope I'm not getting ill. That's all I need on top of everything else. The floor kicks open, and Lucius steps into the room, but he's not alone this time, with another wizard with him, also in black robes and maskless. He's about the same height as Lucius, and around the same age, I think. I recognize his pale, twisted face from somewhere, but I can't put a name to it. Good morning, Miss Granger, Lucius drawls. You will, I'm sure, remember Antoine Dolohov. The pair of you met in the Ministry of Magic, I believe. Oh God, I remember. How could I forget that silent whiplash across my chest and the unbearable pain, and then the darkness? I never saw his face at the time. The picture has been in the Daily Prophet for almost a year before that. He must have escaped from prison with Lucius. Perhaps he is another one of the 6 mentioned in the Prophet. God. Reading that news story seems like another lifetime now. My, haven't you grown up since last I saw you, my dear? Dolohov says, grinning. I don't blame you for wanting to keep her to yourself yesterday, Lucius. She's quite pretty. Oh, for God's sake. There is nothing to look at. The way he's looking at me makes me feel dirty and embarrassed. He lets his eyes go up and down, up and down. They slide over me like slime. Lucius raised his eyebrow incredulously. Well, each to his own, I suppose. No accounting for taste. Hate coursed through me, jumping in shocks through my warm, tired body, waking it up. Smug, arrogant. Dolohov begins to walk over to me slowly. You do know that she's a mudblood? Antonin. Lucius asks. I can look even though I'm not allowed to touch. What? I push myself back against the wall, wrapping my arms around my torso. I don't want him near me. I feel greasy and unclean at the very thought of it. Lucius leans against the wall, smirking slightly at my discomfort. But at the same time, there's something about him that looks disgusted. Dolohov really is too close to me now. I can feel every line, every muscle in those twisted features. He's slightly younger than Lucius, I think. but not much younger. I meet his gaze in what I hope he sees as defiance. I might as well not bother. He doesn't notice my expression. He's not looking at my face. Those clothes don't do much for her, do they? Those clothes don't do much for her, do they? Cockney English. It's the only accent. He flicks his wand and my arms are wrapped around my chest, lifting above my head and pinned into the wall above me. No, 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 no! I really do hate people that say no. I'm really getting no, 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 no. I twist my body furiously, but I can't move my hand away from the wall. He laughs softly, making a tearing movement with his wand, and my t-shirt rips clean in half down the front. I twist and struggle with my invisible grip on my wrist as anger surges up from the bottoms of my gut, bubbling up through my chest and out of my mouth. For God's sakes, what's wrong with you? I yell at him. Nothing's wrong with me, Mudblood. Nothing's wrong with me, Mudblood, he says, a horrible grin on his face. Now stay still, will you? I look at Lucius.